The matchup is between Team Canada, led by Captain, say his name slowly, Michael Hunt. His children and his brother have been messaging me on Facebook, think I'm absolutely in love with him. You've got that so wrong. I can barely stand the guy. Just trying to do some business. Who couldn't love him? He's a tremendous chap. Quite quiet. Anyone who knows him probably find himself, a little bit on the shy side. A little bit of a retiring fellow. Doesn't like to say too much, especially out on a night out. He's a teetotal. He doesn't drink at all. Sits in the corner sometimes, just saying nothing. Had the great pleasure of catching up with his charming partner, Millie, and she told me some great stuff about their meeting together and their partnership developing when Mike was in Boston back in the day. And she has dragged herself around everywhere he's gone. Selfish, isn't he? So selfish. But I think that she must love it in some little way and appreciates it. She said to me the first time that I spoke to her at these championships, having been originally introduced to her last year for the first time, after Mike had done what he does best, which is go and score a few goals when needed. She still enjoys watching him play. His son Cam thinks he's absolutely crap at home. Maybe he just saves it for out here. If he does just fine. And I've had the real pleasure of making the acquaintance of a couple of these Canadian chaps out here. Not the least of which was Carl, who was up here in the booth earlier on, who's maybe inspiring me to pick myself up, dust myself down after my adventures on the little island in the United Kingdom, and maybe relocate, build myself a nice little log cabin in the woods somewhere in the BC interior. I like Revelstoke. I don't know why. I just picked it out on the map. It looks nice. So I fancied it. If anyone knows if there's any jobs going in Revel, drop me a line. I'm on Facebook. Me and my Mrs. Karen, who's also patiently allowing, like all the partners and friends and family, allowing me a trip away on my own with the lads to come out and enjoy some hockey. She's in DC now with her good friend Louise and Ash and their two children visiting. And we'll be back grinding away at work. I'll be back on Tuesday. She'll be back on Monday. Probably drifting past each other on a night, but she's also allowed me to come out here and play. She's very much keen on the idea of building ourselves a little log cabin somewhere in Revel. She loves the winter sports too. She's a good skier. She wants to get herself out there. She fancies going for a skidoo. She's never been on a skidoo before. I haven't been on one for 25 years. So maybe Carl can lend us a ride on one of his and we'll go for a little boot. Okay, join me if you are not already doing so. We are on Zone Multimedia for France v Canada coming up. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for those of us in Canada who have woken up early this morning or stayed up late to join us at this match. It's a pleasure to have you here. Bonjour et bienvenue, mes amis de France. Thanks for joining me. I'm sorry for my French. I'm always embarrassed, especially when I see some of my Canadian colleagues coming up here and speaking fluently in French, and me not really quite being able to do it quite as good as they have. I wish I'd learned. All my French was learned when I had to live there for a couple of years, being a holiday activity instructor a few years ago. I've just seen now coming up to the booth to say hello the president of FIRS, Alberto Lestrucci, the honorary president, Monsieur Gilbert Potier, who have come out to support and watch these finals. And the honorary president now just taking a space just in front of me here. And I think I'm a kinder and more gentle man you won't find anywhere. And has been a super supporter of these games and help support us develop it underneath the Fédération Internationale du Roller Sports and the CIRLH in Europe. And so now these VIPs have taken their seats just down in front of me in the booth. And the players are taking their spots ready for the face-off. We're here live in Bolzano in the north of Italy. 2017 Masters Inline World Cup for the first of our Masters finals today, sorting out places number 5 and 6 in the low final between Canada and France. Both teams having looked so good, standards so high at this level so far, are now playing for, I think, what will be to both of them a consolation prize. And they'll be keen to impose themselves smartly, these two teams. And they won't have slowed down one little bit. Already right from the gun, Canada coming out strong. Shot, and then a bit of pressure, and a few sticks flying. But nothing broken, no harm, no foul. Team Canada taking the face off in the French zone. And the French team from that face off winning and attacking early. It's just gone 11:30 here in Italy. 10:30 a.m. this Saturday morning in the United Kingdom. Hopefully there's a few fans of the sport with their feet up this morning, just mopping up the scraps of their full English, having watched GB vets and under 38s in the two previous matches to this morning. Started at 8:30 today. I know there are some of Les Bleus who are watching now at home in France. I was here in various different locations. And anyone who's a fan of this sport will want to see this, because these are two teams who early on in this tournament displayed the kind of form and function that could have easily put them into the final. But just at the last, when push came to shove, were just pipped to the post. In one case by an Italian team that was just extra special. And by a Czech team and a Swiss team that looked every bit their equals. Today's matches, we'll see starting early this morning, GB versus Slovenia winning that and putting GB in 8th place. Slovenia now occupying 7th. That's being settled. We're now looking for 5th and 6th between France and Canada. Could have been 1st and 2nd, as far as I'm concerned. That's how tight it is out here. That's how close and how competitive these matches are. Despite these old timers. And their old knees. Battered parts. But not broken minds. And not weary hearts. Referee must have lost sight of that because it wasn't trapped. Still floating in front of the keeper. You can see on the replay, puck loose in front. The referee must have thought it was trapped. So he blew, and we have a face-off in the Canadian zone. Canada doing well. Little stick niggle there. Got to watch that in Fears because they don't like it much. He's getting away with that. Melton, number 14. Did well to gather. And a little bit of pace now starting to appear in the French side. Amaneto stick handling, moving forward. Here comes the washing machine that Carl was talking about. The technical passing, the precise, almost confusing to watch. Very European style of hockey. Maybe catching the Canadians a little off their guard. Dangerous, but well saved by the keeper. Slamming down both mattresses. The USA team don't seem to be struggling with the transition from a different style, but arguably there's a reason for that, and the reason is likely that the United States has a little bit more roller going on. Maybe we in Canada are kind of stuck with the ice brand and having the infrastructure and the development and the planning and certainly the passion for that brand of sport. Maybe it's hard for the wheels version to get a look in. These guys certainly have managed it. And there is definitely a structure, infrastructure. The penalty's called. The referees agree. For the hold there. Yeah, I think he might have to just take that one on board, on the chin. Canadian number 16, Mr. Ross, feeling a little hard done by, but I think the replay is rather telling there, so you can make your own judgment. The referees have made theirs. And Rossi sits. Have the Canadians got the legs now to really make a stalwart defense? They do well. A corking clearance. Not wanting to scare the Canadian fans, whom that puck was generally aimed at. Mr. Colbert, he's got a shotgun on him and probably put the wind up all the Canadians' partners and family and friends who are out here watching. But he just caught it and it pinged off the glass. A little short-handed here. Zinger from Larocque. But deflected, I think might have been off the French keeper's helmet. But no definite call. And somehow, the French have managed to score. Coming back at him when the Canadians caught a little bit on the forecheck and France go 1-0 up. So let's watch this replay. Crossing pass, just gets caught on a skate and then drops to number 26, who was sitting in the screen, right in the slot, and making it count. The French have got this pace, and that's exactly the factor that I think is going to maybe undo the Canadians in this section. It's going to be difficult because everyone's tired. We've been at this all week, and maybe the motivation for 5th and 6th, not quite what it was in the same level as it would have been for bigger finals. But I don't think that the Canadians will let anyone down. Not with their hearts, but maybe just with their legs. And when the legs get tired, the head gets tired. And that can make things really difficult. But it'll affect the French too. Let's see how the Canadians can try and step up in response to the technical expertise. Whistle goes. And here's another holding call. And the French assistant captain goes for hooking. Might be a little harsh there, but he maybe had the chance to break away with the puck and was prevented, so referee seeing fit to make him sit. And now Canada go on the power play. Can they repair some damage? It's only 1 goal to the good for France. Them leading 1-0. First period, just 5 minutes gone now, maybe just 6. And Canada trying to display some of their own technical ability. And there it is, some quick passing. Struggling a little bit, tired legs. Where's the right pass? Captain Michael Hunt drifting out a little bit. The French contingent really raising their voices now up here in the stands. Corbin trying to put some power on his wrist to sneak it through, but couldn't find the gap. Canadians recover and go into their power play compression. Another little wrister trying to find a gap, but doesn't beat the keeper. France breaks short-handed. Watch that stick. This is dangerous. France breaking forward fast. Keeper gets rid quite quickly. Canada go 4 now. We're back on. What's the captain going to do? Pass through. No dice. A little bit of a hip check there, but referee keeps his hands in his pockets. Just around the ground now, you can start to feel the atmosphere building a little bit. The French team gathering up here just on the tribune level of the first tier of stands, and maybe filling themselves with some afternoon cheer. Some medicinal healing after their veterans match earlier on. And cheering on the junior team as they take a slap shot that goes across the crease of the Canadian keeper. France still in possession. We're 4-on-4, just about halfway through. France leading 1-0. The technical skills that they're so afraid of, the Canadians, on full display here. Can the Canadian team respond with their own technicals? Will they start to impose themselves more physically? Or will we watch number 43, Han, use his hands? Oh, dangerous puck that slipped right through there. Gravity not favoring the movement of the puck. And another little tip goes wide. Corbin delivers. That's Larocque. Swings the puck round back. And looks like he's lifting his leg there. Did he catch that puck? He's struggling a little bit. Doesn't like it. Lifts himself up into the Canadian bench. Might be sitting down for a little while he rubs that bruise out. Slap shot! Finds the gap! Tremendous! Took a good look. Waited for the right moment. Then wound up at max power. Turns, takes his good look through the screen of the French defender. Tremendous shot. French contingent building, getting louder and louder. Making themselves heard. Those French chaps have long been known to, quite contrary to maybe their national stereotype, to be big-time partiers. They're not retiring on a half a glass of wine and then nipping off to bed early. They are they're definitely ones to celebrate the spirit of the sport and to share their love and passion for it as much as their love and passion for having a bit of a drink. And so they're here in fine voice. But I'm sure there's plenty of Canadians now in fine voice back at home. Send me a message on Facebook, everyone, if you're up and about, or on Twitter, Pete Wirt at Eye on Inline, and I'll see if I can respond if you've got some questions that you want me to ask the gents when they come up here. And I'll see if I can get a few of the players to come up after their match during the next vets. Still plenty of competition going there. Two players having a little discussion about what it means to defend in front of the net. Number 16, Ross, imposing himself, doing some political relations in behind his own net. Leroc and Cobet playing together nicely in the corner like a good bunch of boys. Canada breaks. Looking for the crossing pass, but just struggled. Nobody there. Who? And the Canadian assistant getting muscled off the puck. Oh, France, dangerous centering pass, but just fanned it. And now Canada counter. Melton and Legat. That's a dangerous crossing pass, but it was just to the wrong side of him. Melton tried to turn, but he couldn't peg it off his backhand. France patient. They'll wait until they can load the washing machine. Set it to spin cycle and start turning around and around. Who's a forward? Who's a D? Nobody knows. Shot goes in low. Well defended. Can't get through the pillows. France set up the washing machine again. Turn and spin. Compressing in. Canada kind of trapped quite tightly in the box. Could probably do better to forecheck. I know they don't want to get caught out behind some of the pace of the French team, but they'll enjoy the game an awful lot more if they don't just sit and wait for the French team to do something special. But with a little bit of a break, they might be able to just break out. Trying to stretch. Leroc doing well there to control the puck with his glove. Couldn't find the outlet though, and he turns around and tries to hit his compatriot going forward now. Rossi. Can he? Waited. Couldn't see the gap. Hunsey's back on. Doing a little hunting of his own. The right pass, left. Unseen in the corner, electing to go right back. Han coming back out despite nursing a little bit of a bruise. He's in a dangerous position. This looks dangerous going forward. Nice little tip. It's close enough, but not quite. I thought that was going to be a little bit back pass, but he held it. Playing it with his skates, doing a little soccer skills. The Canadians just missing the target here, going a little bit high like they did before. They need to get down and on target again underneath this low crossbar of the Fears goals. Spectators continue to build. We've now got, as I just look around the stands, maybe 100 or more people now spectating. That might not sound like much to you, but for inline hockey, it's plenty. Saturday afternoon. And some of the spectators might come along, Canada making an attacking run, but skates playing more of a role than the stick. France then dangerously breaking with the loose puck. Loose puck in front. French consolidate. And my mate De France, who I spoke to yesterday on the way back, about his disappointment that the extra special team that France brought out themselves didn't meet the expectations of their outfit quite. Now sort of maybe redeeming himself at least and putting that goal in. So France with a bit of flair, as they are wont to do, go up another notch, and they lead 2-1 versus Canada here in this low final to determine 5th and 6th place. Could be a little break on for Canada, but the French back check was quick and kind of shut that gap. The Canadians weren't exactly at full steam. Trying to build something a little bit skillfully. Got the man on point, number 11, Larocque, waiting for the opportunity. Little cheeky, kind of cute pass by Melton, sort of in behind him between his legs to try and find someone in the slot, but it's not happening. We'll have a little discussion. Which is your favorite cheese? I prefer Camembert. I like Monterey Jack. A little bit of conflict there. I think they're just trying to spin around and got sort of locked in. Bit of hair caught in the zip there. That'll be good. Oh, I don't know. Let's just say that a little Canadian encounter cordial got taken just a little step further. He's probably just trying to kiss him. It's a tradition over here. It's the second time that Rossi's tried to kiss someone out on the pitch, and he's going to watch his colleagues instead of play with them for another couple of minutes, which will just about take us through to the end of the first half. France on the power play, and a goal to the good as well, leading Canada 2-1. And pressure. Redemption. No goal. Great save. The French are claiming that it's gone in. Crossing to the slot. Drifted. Keeper claims he's got it there. Reaches behind him a little bit. Must think that the puck might be trickling. Referee's in the position to be able to see it, but maybe covered by the mattress. 4 more minutes left in the first period of this low final between Canada and France. So much expectation for both teams. An outstanding skills and display in terms of the levels. Carl Bryan explaining how tricky it is for the Canadians to maybe adjust from a slightly different type of game, but relishing the prospect of bringing it back next year and doing even better. As Thomas, number 3 from France, lets a slap shot go up into the trees. France still looking to maybe capitalize on this power play, 30 seconds of which are left. They're putting a lot of pressure in. The man in the slot there looked for a little tip, didn't come off. Corbet just physically imposing himself. Doesn't take much, he's a big chap. France with a face-off in the Canadian face-off circle. Canadians clear, luckily. France really only having seconds left to capitalize. They've already got a goal up. Team Canada looking tired, not too keen to put too much pressure on the French. Maybe hoping that the time is almost up. Deflection. They got piling the stick in, doing a bit of golfing, trying to clear the puck, but the French still have it. Legat pressing the French player into the boards. Penalty's going to get called. And now he's going to sit for doing what he thinks is just his job, to try and compress. Canada only just barely getting 4 men on the rink. We're going straight back down to 3 again. And that will see the rest of this game out. A little harsh. I mean, the referee was right there, called the interference. Looked like it was just shoulder to me into the boards, but maybe the Canadian just lingering a little bit, not looking for the puck actually, but looking for the man. And maybe they don't like that. I know a lot of the conversations I've had with the Canadians have said that, you know, that transition from a slightly different style of hockey and maybe a little bit tricky for them to get used to from time to time. They better get used to it. Otherwise, it's going to be like this all the time. They're on their toes. The calves are burning. They're standing on guard against this technical French attack. Patient, dangerous. They'll get men in the slot frequently. Just can't quite seem to clear, and they're just getting a little bit of bad puck luck. And the bounces just seem to be popping to the French. Frenchmen in the slot. Still on the attack, moving the puck back and forth. Trying to find the right position. Canadians doing everything they can to defend. Getting more and more tired, more and more frustrated. Wanting to know what to do. Deflected the puck. And the net just coming off of its moorings there a little bit. Chaps are tired. Can they hold on? Another minute left to go. The French just playing around with them now. Slap shot defended. Puck bobbling around. Sticks flying. Corbin, number 44, imposing. You can chuck a few choice French phrases their way. A little gentle reminder of how they play hockey in the big country. Seconds left now. French still trying to attack. Canadians just can't clear it. They'll have an attempt to do it on the face-off. Seconds left now. Canadians really need to clear, and they finally do it, and they spend it. Spend it? My goodness. It's been a long week. Legat comes out finally, 4-on-4, and it should be just enough to maybe stem the tide of this French onslaught. They're doing the laundry, and they're taking the Canadians to the cleaners. Another dangerous slap shot. French attack not done yet. Sticks on the floor. Sacrifice is being made. And a little gentle tickling contest between the French and the Canadians as they go to the break. With 0.8 of a second left, we'll go through the formality of having a face-off. Maybe even the reaction time of the timing staff not quick enough to really operate the clock fast enough to make most of it. It's 5 minutes of a break. So we'll take a short break between this match. Hopefully some Canadians have got up in the morning and can join us here on Zone Multimedia Live here in the northern hills of Italy. We're just going to get a couple of gentlemen to come up and speak with us here now during the break. I've got coming in now Carl Hammond and John Fowler, who are veterans of Team GB, having played their last match of this tournament just earlier on.
Hello there.
All right, gents, how you doing? It's really great to have you up here. That was your sort of last match of the tournament. Can you guys sort of, in your own sort of words, summarize for you how important it's been to represent Canada as now a veteran, having played for... I'm sorry, Canada. Hey, listen, it's been a long couple of days. It's been a long couple of days.
I don't know how that feels, actually.
Neither do I, yeah. That's why I had to come all the way to the United Kingdom to play. And I wish I could have come and played for you guys as well, too, but because of commitments and stuff like that, I couldn't. Yeah. So how have you seen things developing in terms of the vets yourself, and what do you see as the vets going forward in the future for GB?
It's been an awesome trip, mate. I mean, from picking the squad 6-7 months ago to where we are now, we've had maximum commitment. Everyone's been to every training session. The attitude of the guys has been absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, that last game just reflects how all these boys are. You know, we just came out here to do a job. And, you know, I think we've done that. I think we've done ourselves proud. We want to do it for the fans, for the family and all the rest of it. You know, just couldn't thank them enough. It's been a best birthday present I've ever had.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And a great way to celebrate is to come out here and do this and represent your country as well, too. John, you've been playing for the Masters and the Veterans and forever, and have been a long player of hockey on the wheels and in other places as well too. Tell me what it means to you to be out here representing now the vets and supporting Inline.
Now, it's like starting all over again. For the first vets, it's like the first game for the 38. It's been so good a trip. We've all been on a high. All the guys have been great. They've done exactly as they've been asked, and we've played it out. So everybody has. It's been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, couldn't ask any more from any of them.
And you've just gone out there against a French side, most of which have already raised once or twice the actual World Cup. So what was it like? Did you meet your expectations? Did you know that it was still going to be a big hill for you to climb? Or
it was always going to be a hard game, but we've never been placed 5th and 6th out of 10 teams. We were always going to give it 100%, and there was always 6th is always a good place, but I'd have loved to have come 5th. But the effort we've all put in, really, we feel like we've come first.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic testament to the way that you guys play. So this is your first kick at the cat as a veteran now, and you know what it's taken to develop here. Have you got enough in you to do it again? Are you going to commit to years in the future?
I mean, let's see if I get asked to put my name in next year, you know. All I could do is come out and do a job, pick a team from the pool of players that we had out there, and you know, do the best that I could. I just think I've been blessed by the guys that were available, and they've just done me proud. They've, as Johnny says, they've done everything we asked. You know, it's just been a phenomenal trip. It does feel like coming first. You know, we're the part-time baker, the postman, kitchen fitter, playing against the pros. What more can you ask from the guys? You know, absolutely phenomenal. We just want to put a stamp on it and say to younger generations, you know, we're not dead. Yeah. Us fossils can rock it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And rock it well, particularly maybe not if in the legs, certainly within the heart. And one of the reasons that this hockey tournament exists at all is because we, from Great Britain, Australians too, well known for coming out here and sacrificing it, knowing that they maybe can't have the same level of skill, but certainly no less the passion, and they wouldn't be able to do it without us.
Yeah. When you love what you do, you'll do what you do. You know, and hats off to the Aussies, man, because they make some serious journey. And there's some serious cash for them as well, you know, and they keep fighting, and that's what this sport's all about. You know, we come as an underdog.
They're not just opponents; they're friends.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's another reason why we come out here and enjoy it so much. So thanks very much, both of you guys, for representing for so long, GB, and long may it continue. Anyone you want to say hi to back in Blighty?
Just to all my family back home, you know, thanks for supporting me. It's probably been a bit tough on the closer people while I've been training and stuff like that. A bit grumpy, you know. But yeah, no, just thanks to everyone who's watched, everyone who's picked up on Facebook and sent messages. All the GB lads appreciate it. So yeah, thank you. And you keep up your good work,
mate. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's my pleasure.
Everybody back home, for sure. Great support. Keep it up.
Tremendous. It's really been a pleasure to watch you guys out there, and damn it, next year I'm getting some wheels on and I'm coming out to play because I can't stand this anymore. Cheers. Thanks very much, chaps. Okay. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining us there. And it's a real pleasure to speak to those lads and get them up here in the booth. What a tremendous bunch of gentlemen. And I refer you now back out to the action on the rink, where you've got another group who feel and think and act the same. Big timers out there now on the rink. Team Canada and Team France. Each one of them definitely could have easily signed their name on this year's World Cup, but just not quite being able to take it over to that next level. Canada knowing what they've got to do for next year now to defeat what has just been another consolidated, precise, surgical-like attack from the French washing machine. And Canada start the second half with even more work to do. France now lead 3. Canada 1 goal to the good so far, but they're going to need to do something different and maybe mix it up if they're going to really step up here and finish their tournament off on a real high. They're going to have to either do something different or step right up and do something special. Maybe this is possible. This guy can do it. The captain with his colleagues. Not quite finishing it there. French keeper hard to beat. Next to impossible, actually. Save. Or deflected off of the French defender as he went down. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you're up and out of bed in the peg. Get the coffee on. Put a little extra scoop of granules in the filter. That'll keep your eyes open. As your boys out here are fighting for what they can get in this low final of the World Inline Masters. It's the second period, if you've just joined us. Just started, so we've only just gone a couple of minutes in. France lead Canada by 3-1. The Canadians finding it difficult to get a handle on the puck, while the French cycle and circle and spin and twist and precisely pass even across the rink like that and turn. They're slightly lighter frames than the big boys from Canada, maybe making it easier for them to be a little bit lighter. The Canadians prefer to impose themselves a little bit more physically. It doesn't always pay them off. The Rock's got good hands, though, and tries to make his attack, but maybe not quite with enough to challenge this truly outstanding French gardien. Ooh, nearly off the face-off. Canadians maybe trying to eke out some advantage while they've got the face-off in the attacking zone, but just can't beat that French keeper. France in possession again, familiar. And Carl Bryan now, number 22. You can see the expression on his face. Not being happy with having to watch the French spin and dance around, but can he do this? Nice little cheeky bit of passing, stick handling, but the French keeper flip-flopping to do everything he could to block any little gaps that there was. And now a sudden step up a pace as the Canadians go end to end. Fake shot, backhand. The referee's given the goal. He said no, but now it's yes. And finally, Ross, after sitting and watching much of the first half from the penalty box, now makes the difference. Let's watch the replay really closely. Backhand goes up and in. You go inside the post. Backhand up above the glove side. Yeah, it was up and in. Rebounded out just of the likely something that was holding the net up in the back of the post. Referee looked initially. Looking really close now. Ooh. Well, that's the final decision. The initial hit on the post wasn't in. But when it dropped and it rolled off the back of the skate, that was. And so that's why the referee initially said no. And then the puck tumbled, and that was it. Can we do it again? Canada, 11. Now, the Canadians with a little bit of zip in their step. maybe think that this isn't a foregone conclusion. They're only 1 goal behind now. Canada have got 2, France 3. Maybe their chins are just rising up a little bit. A little bit of gas in their pants. And that's not just from the Italian food. So what happens when these big units come up here and start eating all these lovely fresh vegetables? Gourmet cheeses. Atmosphere continuing to slowly and gently build up here in the Palonda Arena. Probably getting on for 100 people still, I think. Maybe a few more on the tribune level and in the stands. Gathered round. The president and honorary president of FEARS are both here in attendance for finals day. And I'm going to be speaking with them in the booth just a little bit later and introduce them to you and hopefully get their perspective on the importance and the meaningfulness of these championships to them. Giudizio. Precise passing, cycling, turning, moving. Technicality. Takes the reverse. Corbeil, man marking. Amanetto, stick handling, circling, starting the spin cycle. The washing machine is on. Gone a little quiet out there while they get some fresh legs out. They're just sensing that discretion is a better part of the valor just currently and not wanting to stretch themselves too much and get too tired. Legs are like jelly now after days of playing in this heat. Number 11, Larocque, doing some stick handling of his own. But just getting peppered by French sticks and shoulders. Rossi waves his wrist, says, come on guys, get your legs out, get the line on, and let's see if we can make a difference. Last time out he did, and put Canada up by a goal to reach number 2. A little bit of shoulder to shoulder there. But, I mean, I wouldn't even said handbags. That's barely handbags. It's not even a clutch purse. What do I know? I don't even know what one of those is. Dangerous crossing pass. Centering player there, 72. Couldn't put it to bed. And then the French take possession and control. And the Canadians wondering what they've got to do to change it up a little bit, to try and disrupt it. Could it be a forecheck? Maybe stronger. Maybe that's what the Canadians need to do. Start to take this on 1-1. Chase them down a bit. Oh, there's a bit of a hook there. Referees, nothing on. Playing the advantage. Carl holding on to the puck now, waiting to see what's there. Little tip was right on target, but deflected off the mattresses. And Rossi collects and goes back sensibly. Carl wants it to his backhand, but doesn't get it. Nicholson and Ross spinning it round, starting their own wash cycle. Look at this stretch play. French caught off guard. French were completely drawn into a state of complacency there. Number 72, Piercy there. Look at that. Just stretching completely unawares, like a ghost in the background, drifted through all the walls. The French thought no big deal. We'll change the sheets, and then whoosh. Now, what will this do to Canadian legs? It's amazing how suddenly you can find some energy somewhere when things are going your way. The wind blowing in the direction of Canada now. Dangerous backhand now, and the French pushing forward. Not happy with that score line. They're wanting to impose themselves right back at it. We have 11:16 left in this second period. Is that going to be the trip? Yes, it is. The keeper is pulled. Canada play with 5 and see if they can eke out some advantage. Momentum growing, that's the French possession, just mistiming that pass. The Canadians will have the power play. And just at the right time, the momentum switches over for Canada. And the French player perhaps maybe protesting that like they just got his stick caught between the legs of the player as they were going forward. But if it's an influential disadvantage, then it's a trip, whether you meant it or not. And who can say what's really in our minds, eh? With the fortunate pleasure of being out there before, and no one can ever really know what's inside their minds. What was inside the mind of number 14 there as he felt himself in a really good position immediately, tooth to tooth, nose to nose with the French keeper. Corbeil maybe looking for a chance to tee up a rifle shot. Waiting there patiently. Fake shot. Puck floated. Possession, though, dispossessed. Attacking as a 3. Took the early shot, Mike, but didn't do it. Trying to get it back out to Corbeil so he can unleash. Doesn't clear it there. Not got the energy, not got the impetus. We thought that the momentum might get the Canadian engines revving a little bit more, but maybe not quite being able to generate enough psychological belief that they could push a little bit further to get back into it. That's a lucky break for Han. Him and Corbeil will work around. Corbeil will be going off frustrated that he didn't get at least the opportunity to crack one off there. Can Mike. Shot. Denied by post. This line looking a bit keen for Canada. Trying to find the gap. Not working. French are back to 4. Still under pressure though. That centering pass just to legs and not to stick. Rabi attacks at pace. Dangerous. Deflected, looked like off of the glove. And momentum got him caught behind the keeper. Canadians breathe deep. That could have been dangerous. It's 3-all. The clock says 8 minutes and 24 seconds to play. Problem with the face-off there. Seats are filling up nicely now as we build towards our finals. We'll have a vets match coming up. Game 31 on the schedule. Oh, my bad, that's being played over there. So we're having game number 33 coming up here. That's the Czech Republic v Canada veterans. So Canadians get the pancake mix back out, whip up another batch, put another pot on, stay up. For your veterans are going to come out. Gentlemen that were here last year. Pressing now, Canada going forward, and a really nice little tippy toe drag. Number 72. Piercy taking his time again, watching for the right spot and whipping it right underneath the mattresses. Whoosh. We're calling that a 5-hole shot? I think we are. Brilliant shot. And Canada, again, the wind in their sails now. The breeze is blowing. I'm getting a little breeze through the cabin here with me. Whoo, I need it. It's cooling me off a little bit. The temperature just knocked down 1 or 2 degrees in the hot box up here on the tribunes in the cabins at the Pallonde Arena, watching my countrymen Canada play my good friends d'Équipe de France. L'Équipe de France, sorry. And things going a little bit their way now. Big conversation happening on the Canadian bench. Having a good chat about how they're going to take advantage of this momentum shift and keep pressing forwards. France 3, Canada 4. 7:25 left to play. I can see the Canadian bench coach scribbling and referring to his notes and giving everybody just a little bit, some last minute instructions to keep things on the right track. It's always dangerous when the French do this though, and they've got possession. And here they go again. Program number 3 on the washing machine. Extra spin. Rabi coming right in, very deep, looking for the tip in front. Servos. Holding on tight. Rabi came right in there. The tip was on. Just didn't get enough purchase on it. I think Servos was doing his very best to squat as low as he could to sit on that puck. And the Canadians, it's 4-on-4. You'd think it was a power play. They're really compressed on this D. Just maybe getting a little bit frightened of committing and just struggling to clear the puck out of their end. And now finally using their physicality. The danger is that the referees just won't like it. It's a different type of game. And the Canadians trying to take advantage of a slight momentum shift, using the physical presence again. Maybe just a little bit too much. They've got to try and find that balance, and that's, I think, their really big challenge. Piercy always maybe trying to create another scoring opportunity for himself. He's had a little bite of the cherry already, and not content to just wait for the French to give him permission to do it again. And there's that physical presence. Ross. Dangerous. Tried to very tight angle, number 16. But the Canadian keeper every bit up for that. Trying to keep it tight, reflected off the glass in behind. French Fayolle turning. Another deflection off the keeper's pads. And then finally, Canada clear the puck into the other side of that red line. The French sensing an opportunity to come back here. Dangerous, centering pass. Canadians and French both engaging in a game of bat the rat in front of the Canadian keeper. Deadly passing, concerted. Referee says no goal. He's definite. He's absolutely clear. He was right there. He says no goal. Oh, they won't like that. Les Bleus watching really closely on the replay. Does it go in? It's reflecting all around the frame of the post. High, down. Does it cross the line? Doesn't look like it. 1, 2, 3. Off of the crossbar, down onto the line, up off of the far post, and into the back pocket of the Canadian keeper, Servos. He'll find it there. Either that or a bruise in the shape of a puck on his backside. Proof positive if needed. The Canadians still just can't clear the decks. Every time they get the handle on the puck, the French wrist shots, centering passes, screens. Servos just missing, capturing that in his glove. And the French press on. Ever deeper. Testing time for the Canadian keeper and testing time for the Canadian defense. Look at them go off now. Their legs like jelly. Doing a hell of a job, Canadians, to try and defeat this onslaught. And maybe holding the momentum. Canada have got 4, France 3. There's 4:25 left on the clock. It's a big ask to hold, but Canada go for the goal scorer. Finally coming out. Ouch, someone's caught that on the ankle. Everyone's on the floor, French, Canadians. What little energy they've got left, just barely being able to hold them up. Puck whipping through. And this is a Canadian breakout. They won't know what to do with themselves on this side of the red line. They'll have to use their sat-nav to remember what to do or where to go. And their time in fresh air didn't last long. We come back, and another bouncing puck still loose in front, and Cobb picks it up. The Canadian number 16 just trying to defend the keeper, and number 77 comes in just to remind everyone in France that the keeper is sacred. So yeah, 16, maybe just rising his elbow up to persuade the French attacker to remove himself from said zone. And the gents from Canada quickly coming up to raise their concerns for the proximity. And they'll both sit down for being naughty, naughty little boys. We'll stay 4-on-4. France 3, Canada 4. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. French in dangerous positions here. Could easily convert any second. Their never-ending, continuing, spinning attack. The tornado begins again. Only finding one of their own French colleagues. Centering pass doesn't come off. Definitely dealt with by the Canadian, quite calm to be controlling the puck there. Finally, hand clears as he got the legs. He's got the back pass. Canadians breaking 3-on-2 now. Cleverly, Rister taking time to have a look and see the spot, but couldn't find it. The puck spits out. Okay. And Wanse is going to do the toe drag, tries the backhand, turns, and sensibly recognizes that maybe a little bit of possession will do just as good as another goal. And playing smart hockey there, Han. That's smart hockey. Ross using the boards to his advantage and taking some possession too. And the Canadians now having a spell of passing and moving with the puck. French forecheck is strong though, it's dangerous. It's also physical. Couldn't get the crossing pass. Great Canadian defense. And the penalty is called. And the French player is going to sit. And maybe that means they won't have enough. Although they have scored shorthanded before. Le fans of Les Bleus. Not certain. And, well, we could say that perhaps there was a little bit of weakness of the ankles there in what's normally a reasonably strong set of tendons and ligaments. Suddenly folded rather easily underneath. But the referee was right there, called the penalty, intentional or not. If you gain an advantage and the player falls over and you're in contact with them, away you go. And so in this case now, Canada might just have enough to hold off and use this 1-goal advantage to take it all the way to the win in this bottom half of the finals. Canada playing here for 5th rather than 6th place. They've got 1 minute and 44 to hold on to seal the deal. And the French team, having looked so promising and so purposeful earlier on in the preliminaries, just been struggling to find that little bit extra. Technical, yes, but maybe something a little bit more that they need to really just put away what is the only thing that really matters in the end, however you get there, and that's the win. Canada look in control of this now, although the French forecheck, they're down. Might consider pulling the keeper as well. It's got to be a consideration. Lots of sticks getting up in there. Physical pressure. Can France make an attack run? They'll try. This could be dangerous. Anytime the French get the puck, they can move forward at speed. Simple back pass. Maybe one too many. That's physical, and that's going to go into the boards. That's a bit dangerous, that. Guys on the floor here right in front of me. That's tough. But I think that actually Canadian player is saying, sorry, he didn't mean that. It was just a little bit of loss of traction. He's just stretching forward. He had his arm round the French player. He was really just trying to sort of, play for a little bit of holding. And he could get a holding call there, really. It's just dangerous to do that in the boards. And the two of them together lost some traction. He was apologizing, though. Melton, number 14, he wasn't trying to hurt anybody, but it can be done in that position. So they got to be careful. The Canadians trained from birth to play physically tough hockey. But the two of them together have suffered, and we will go 3-on-3 for the remaining 47 seconds and 6/10 of the second period. Canada still 1 goal to the good with 4. France 3. And France every bit as dangerous with 3 as they are with 4. The French must consider drawing the keeper now. He sort of went, but then didn't. They're asking him. They're shouting. Laurent Chassel, longtime player, vet on the French team, making the call finally for the last 20 seconds. France go 4, Canada 3. Watch the delay of game there. Ross playing tactically. Puck is loose underneath him. He's going to give it to him. The referee was watching too close. It was a delay of game. Just doing what he think he needed to do. I mean, in front of the net there, the French are deadly. So he had to make the sacrifice. Ross is claiming that he was trying to be clever enough to take his hand off and on in the right balance of proportions. But the referee was right there just waiting for just enough. And the cheeky action of Ross, maybe trying to just juggle the puck a little bit underneath his glove, coming to Cropper. The captain just maybe clarifying exactly what's going on. But he'll know what the deal is. Carl's coming over and having a skate. He wants to sit with his boys on the bench. So now we have 3 Canadians sitting in the penalty box. 2 Canadians on the ring. 4 French outfield players and no keeper. The French have possession. Shot deflected. 8 seconds. French right in front. The keeper on the floor saving. 3 seconds left and the French score. Bodies everywhere. Reflection after reflection and the French score to equalize. Canadians thought they'd done enough. .22 deflected. Puck loose, found it. Sent it free. And the French, the place is erupting. The French fans are up in full voice. They can't believe that they've managed to do it, but they're deadly. As soon as they get possession on the puck of any kind, Canadians struggling all the game to clear their decks and to get rid of that puck in dangerous positions. And in this low final, well, nothing low about it. It's in the low half of the draw. And now at least we know after yesterday's experiences, we've got 5 minutes of sudden death after a 3-minute rest break to decide who is going to claim 5th and 6th place. And this is every bit as meaningful for these gents here, wanting to kind of consolidate all the hard work and effort that they've put into getting this far, looking both of them like potential champions. Carl Bryan now sitting in the penalty box, consoling his mate Ross, telling me earlier on that it's very likely that any one of them in the top 6 could have been potential champions, really could have. And maybe slight dip in form or a couple of little mistakes that were uncorrected, maybe the only difference between any one of these top 6 teams. Canada having struggled against a couple of teams throughout the preliminary rounds, and then certainly as we got into the quarters, are now here in this low semi contesting against France for 5th and 6th. Could have been the final on earlier form, easily could have been. Tired legs and tired heads, not prevailing. But between the two of them, this looks every bit the epic final it could be. Might as well be. And a superb effort for these guys to still keep those wheels rolling. It's not as hot as it was yesterday, but it ain't cold. I think I've spoken to about a dozen different people. Lots of the Brits that are out here, and colleagues on the old team, and a few of the Aussies as well, too, to say the least, who have all been down to reception in the Hotel Sheraton to ask if there's some way that they can dial in a little bit of extra cool on the aircon. It's not working. Here we have to be content with what little breeze is wafting in from the door in this tin shed purchased up on the Tribune. Looking over at the Canadian bench, and they're just wondering what it is that they needed to do to try and get a hold of this match and put it to bed. Maybe wishing that they didn't have to play for another 5 minutes, especially 5 minutes of the intensity that is required to beat this electric French team. They are beatable. Canadians had a goal advantage to the very, very, very last second when France finally scored by picking up scraps in front of the Canadian keeper. Servos rolls back out. Canadians roll back out. We've got 5 minutes of golden goal to finally put to bed the question in the low final at the Masters Inline World Championships, the only Masters Inline in the world. Clock still struggling there a little bit. We got whistles blowing left, right, and center. Clock not running for some reason. The timing staff struggling with a little technical difficulty. These are not experts and professionals. These are friends of family, people that we know, just picking up, using this kit and equipment. It's a little bit of a village fete affair. A gathering of amateurs. Community club spirit. Beer and barbecue. And in this community-spirited and community-minded effort, we have maybe from time to time struggled a little bit to, get everything just right. I know everyone downstairs in terms of the information, the logistics of the place, and certainly the timing team and the people who are operating around the arena. And I hold my hand up here too myself. I've been scrambling around like a headless chicken, trying to put some things together, getting the technical stuff right. We've been switching back and forth from different media servers and streams, and gathering every little bit of knowledge as we kind of go along. I'm no media expert. I'm sure you've figured that out by now. You don't need me to remind you. So please forgive us while we try in our best to whip something up for you guys for your entertainment. We're learning as we go along and trying to get better and better. But these are first world problems, eh? Little first world problems. We're back in action. We found the red button. And we are in sudden death. for 4 more minutes. Canada a man down. 2 in the box. France a man down behind the goal. And Corbet quite happy to sit and watch. Standing like a statue over top of him. Keeper shoving the French player out. That could have been in, but it came in and out. Deflected off of something, I don't know what. Like a 90-degree angle from this side to the other. French team still in possession. This is dangerous. And there it goes. I mean, you'd think it would be difficult to fell a tree as big as Corbin, number 44, Canadian defender, but somehow the French player did. And the referee called it straight away. Canadian keeper shoving him out of the crease. What did it deflect against? The back skate? Let's watch really closely on the replay. Off of the inside skate. Just enough to sneak in and out, but not past the line. And the referee right there to see it. And now we go 3-on-3 for 13 seconds. And Canada will have a power play. We're in sudden death overtime. In the battle for 5th and 6th place of the World Inline Masters. We're on Bolzano, Bozen in Italy. The Tyrolean Alps, the Dolomites. Carl Bryan whizzes back over the bench. And Canada go 4. Can this be the time and the place for the shotgun? Didn't come off. France no less deadly with a man down. Their pace and speed, wicked. This will be it. They've got to do something to stop it. They did. Great poke check from Corbet. Now this is Canada breaking. The captain, always relied upon. Can he do what he needs to do? Great pass. Great score. Selflessly extends himself on the stretch. Saw the opportunity really clearly. Whipped it up. Crossed it. And the Canadians sealing the deal finally. Leaving it a little on the late side. But there was a great cross. Number 43. The man with the hands. Han zips it in. And a tremendous effort from Team Canada. It'll be feeling really good for them to get a big win under their belts. It's been hard for them. Trial by fire and trial by technicality. And the gentlemen, and easily any one of these, as close as they could have gotten in this display of inline hockey par excellence. Could have been the World Championships. This could have been the final right here. Easy. And if it was, it would have been a great spectacle. But stay tuned, because more to come. Much more indeed. Thanks for joining me if you did. Back home in Canada in the big country to watch the boys finally seal the deal. Thanks to my friends and compatriots in France and around the world for joining us. What a great game. And great lads showing their appreciation. Superb effort. What pleasure. This is the